Welcome to Guide to Survive. The world is a big, beautiful place, full of incredible and breathtaking sights and experiences. It's also doing everything it can to kill you, and so that's where this program fits in. Before you venture into the great outdoors, you need to learn about all of the terrifying and mystical creatures that lurk in the woods, knock on your window, and hide in your toilet. With this guide, you'll learn how to identify a would-be assailant, analyze its strengths and weaknesses, and deal with it effectively. By the end of your training, you'll be ready to take on any creep or cryptid that crosses your path. So here's to you, and the great adventure that lies ahead. Let's begin. Target analysis. Name: Jack Frost. Class: Parasapien, Elemental or Winter Spirit. Habitat: the British Isles, Canada, Scandinavia, and the United States, exclusively during winter. Lifespan: not applicable. Strengths: Cryomancy, Ice Magic. Weaknesses: Extreme Heat and Old Magic. Overall threat level: 9. Behaviour: there's a bitter crispness in the air. A creeping ice forms across windows, walls, and the ground itself. Then, from above, snow begins to fall, covering both civilization and nature alike in a thick blanket of white. Children rush out to play in the snow, while their parents grumble about having to clear it aside, only for more to appear the next day. Such weather can bring immeasurable joy or lasting sorrow. Many nations all across the world experience such phenomena, but these days, few remember the ones that ushers the cold. Throughout Western culture, there is one whose name still brings a chill: Jack Frost. An elemental being, Jack Frost is a variant, or child of, Old Man Winter. One of many children, in fact, who have seemingly been charged with managing their father's seasonal duties. Old Man Winter being the personification of winter itself, they are responsible for bringing the autumn and consequently winter seasons within their allocated regions. Such duties include guiding and maintaining the colder weather before the onset of spring. For Jack, he is posted in Northern and Western Europe, Canada, and the United States. Records of this spirit can be traced as far back as the Anglo-Saxon civilizations of England, as well as across Scandinavia. Throughout his history, Jack has been most notable for the markings he leaves on windows, frost which forms floral patterns, a call sign of sorts. This notoriety became more prevalent as society advanced and glass windows became more commonplace. While unclear as to whether Jack was on duty in North America before European settlers arrived, he certainly made his presence clear to inhabitants by leaving his unique signature each year. Although double glazing has proven quite the kick in the teeth for the poor bastard. What is art without suffering, eh? Winter is a necessary part of the Earth's cycle. It can be both rejuvenating and devastating, neither good nor evil. And so it is, for the most part, with Jack Frost. His presence is necessary to keep the balance of winter in check, although there are records of a more mischievous nature in this spirit, and as with so many ancient beings, this can come across as quite cruel at times. But for the most part, Jack Frost keeps to his duties and has been known far and wide to spread a fair bit of joy every now and then as well. As a winter elemental, Jack's powers are pure cryomancy in nature, having seemingly complete control over ice and snow. Some examples include being able to summon snowstorms, or inducing fatal hypothermia in mere moments. The simple fact that he is charged with maintaining winter throughout several nations is a frightening indicator of this being's power. Although his gazpacho is far less impressive. We can certainly consider ourselves fortunate that such abilities are given to one who understands the gravity of how to use them, as opposed to, I don't know, say a devious brain who has a history of wielding even the slightest degree of power with reckless abandon. Yes, very fortunate indeed. Just as summer is antithetical to winter, so heat is to Jack Frost. A powerful elemental, true, but all things have their weaknesses. And while a small amount of heat can be easily brought down by a strong Arctic wind, extreme heat can be devastating to an iceberg. Also, those hippies camped outside my lab keep shrieking at me. As such, Jack Frost is also vulnerable to such high temperatures. There's a reason elementals live in a balance and slowly retreat from one another when their seasons are over, as there is no certainty that one would truly triumph over the other if such a devastating conflict was to occur. However, Jack is not simply a pile of ice. He is an aspect of winter given form, and when something has a form, it can be more focused and deadly, but also more vulnerable. With enough pressure, it may indeed be possible to trap some of his physical form, given he was unable to restore himself quickly enough in order to either escape or overpower his opponent. Although, it is important to note that while elementals can be destroyed, they are immortal beings, and will always come back eventually. It is also believed that old magic may have an effect on Jack. Since being an old spirit, it is possible that there are certain spells able to banish or resist him. Any druids or shamans in the comments section, do let us know. It's hard to imagine a winter as bitter as my soul, and yet Jack Frost gets pretty close. A strong and ancient winter spirit and purely elemental being, he is a force of nature, and it shows each year he comes around. Bringing both delight and misery, yet neither good nor evil, Jack is present in the lives of many for months at a time, each and every year. Whether it be in the frosty pattern on your window, the ice that makes you slip and fall, or that sharp nipping at your toes and fingertips. Then he disappears in the warmth of spring, only to return colder than before. So next time you're outside and you feel a biting coldness blow over you, perhaps you'll look up and see the small flakes of snow gently falling around. But as that soft breeze grows stronger, and that light dusting of snow turns into a heavy mist, then you'll know Jack Frost is here. Stratagem. So, here's the scenario. Terrible news. Jack Frost heard you slagging him off, saying that you don't like the cold and hate it when he comes to visit. Well, those poorly chosen comments that somehow got back to him after you told them to jar 19 in confidence has really roasted his chestnuts. Now he's coming after you with all the cold, dispassionate fury of an ex-lover. Your plan of attack. Firstly, winter warmers. Try to stock up on winter supplies, food, clothing, and an abundance of flammable substances. It's going to get very cold, and you'll need to be fully prepared for the oncoming freeze. Perhaps even try to get out of his allocated territories before he arrives and head somewhere with a more temperate climate. Secondly, Operation Hibernation. If you don't fancy combating this blustering ice spirit, that's completely understandable. Pick your fights wisely and live to survive another day. Gather up your winter gear, find a secluded location, and hold up for the season. Jack Frost will look for you relentlessly, most likely causing the single most devastating snowstorm that the world has ever seen in trying to track you down, and instilling insurmountable misery to countless people, but as soon as spring arrives, he'll be gone, and you can emerge from your hiding spot. How's that for giving someone the cold shoulder? Thirdly, icy heat. Alternatively, if you wish to fight back, only not face to face, then I have 2 words for you: incendiary traps. These devices are specifically designed to spread fiery destruction when triggered. Utilize such appliances around your preferred holdout, placing them at safe distances where they won't block your escape routes. Obscure and mark their locations so that when Jack Frost drops by, he'll receive a very warm welcome indeed. Fourthly, cold-blooded. You're no stranger to the cold. You've felt nothing but it your entire life. Wrapping yourself up in appropriate gear and arming to the teeth with incendiary devices, a flamethrower for example, and ready yourself for one chilling encounter. Use as many inflammable traps, heat lamps, molotovs, etc. as you can to weaken Jack Frost. Keep wearing him down until he's little more than a melting snowman. Then finish him. Fifthly, cracking work. Scoop up whatever's left, we'll stick him in the freezer. Pop quiz. Question number 1. Will Jack Frost only be present during winter? Answer: yes. While colder regions will maintain their snows and frost, Jack is a winter spirit and only comes during winter. Question number 2. Can Jack Frost be found all over the world during winter? Answer: no. While winter is present in many different ways all over the world, Jack Frost is stationed in Northern and Western Europe and North America. Question number 3. Does Jack Frost have a physical form? Answer: yes. Jack's appearance can vary, although he always appears as male. Question number 4. Has Jack Frost any abilities beyond cryomancy? Answer: no. As a winter elemental, Jack has purely frost-related abilities. Question number 5. Is it true that Jack Frost is an ancient spirit? Answer: yes. Jack Frost has been noted for at least over a millennia, making him an ancient spirit. If you scored 0 to 1, then you've met a chilling end. If you scored 2 to 3, then you might be alive, but you've become a very cold person. And if you scored 4 to 5, smashing work, you're pretty cool. Conclusion. Excellent work. I'd say you're ready to get out there and face whatever challenges plot against you. And if you're not, then don't worry. You can rewatch these survival guides as much as you like. And they're non-refundable. I'm very proud of the progress you've made, and I know you're going to take the future in your stride. I've got a good feeling about you, Tropical Slushy. Just gonna have a little sip of... brain freeze! Good luck, and don't die!